Most wholesalers are approaching real estate the completely wrong way. So let me show you what I mean. First off, my title is wrong. It looks kind of like this. So you start off by marketing, right? Marketing, of course, costs money. This can be Bandit signs, this can be mailers, this can be pay-per-click, whatever, right? That's all marketing. So most people start off there. Then after you market, you finally get, let's say you spend $5,000 on postcards, you get 20 phone calls. 2 of them could be decent, right? All right, well then you can flip into negotiation skills. So now you gotta negotiate with the seller, right? And just more or less hope that that goes well. So negotiate. After you negotiate, and let's talk about like timing here too. Marketing, if it's postcards, if you order them today, they'll hit in a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? Then you're gonna get calls for a week. Then you're gonna negotiate, right? Negotiations can be up to 3 months, right? 6 months sometimes, where you follow up with people, all that fun stuff, right? And especially in these heavy marketing setups, you have to do a ton of follow-up, right? So, okay, this could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months. That's a lot of freaking time. After that, you put the property under contract, right? So, out of those 2 that were decent, right, from that $5,000 you spent, you put 1 property under contract. Now, if you're in some areas, you're gonna get more, which is great, right? But still, that's freaking brutal, right? So you put a property under contract, and that's with the seller, right? After that, if you're wholesaling, right, then you go out and you gotta find a buyer, right? So you got this whole other period here where you're out finding a buyer. And if you don't find a buyer, well, then you just freaking cancel the deal. If you cancel the deal, you make no money, and whatever you spent on marketing is just freaking lost, right? That sucks. That's not fun. So let's say you find a buyer, then you contract, right? This is either going to be a BDC contract or an assignment. You contract with the buyer, and then you wait to close, right? So if the deal doesn't fall out here, like you can spend money on marketing, not get enough leads or any good leads, so you just don't do a deal, right? So then you're out money, right? That sucks. The deal could fall out there. The deal could also fall out if you don't have prime freaking butt-kicking negotiation skills, right? When I was first starting, I definitely did not. So that's also why this didn't work very well for me, right? So you try negotiating, that sucks. Then let's say you do happen to get past that step, you put a property under contract, awesome, property under contract with seller, then you gotta go find a buyer, right? Well, if you can't find a buyer for it, or all your buyers say it's too expensive, again, everything just implodes, right? You don't make any money. There's lots of freaking pitfalls here, right? This guy sucks. And then next part, you put it under contract with the buyer. Let's say that the buyer backs out before close, same thing, all that work is for nothing, you lose all that money, right? So this is our wrong way. Wrong out. All right, so what's the right way, right? What does the right way look like? Okay, well, it looks totally freaking different than this, and it's way shorter, right? Which is great in this case. This is where the majority of people are spending their time, right? The right way looks like this. Let's draw a line here. First off, we want to skip some stuff. You don't want to do marketing, right? We don't want to do this junk. That takes too long and it's way too expensive, right? We don't have 2 weeks to wait before our postcards hit, or to get Bandit signs out or whatever. If you do pay-per-click, sure, that's faster, right? But then you still have to negotiate, right? And that still takes time. Also, you can do pay-per-click and not make any money because none of the leads were good, or you're not a pro at negotiating, right? So we don't want to have to negotiate. That's another factor in there that doesn't help us. So let's get rid of that. We don't want to negotiate, right? No thanks. Put the property under contract with the seller, right? Okay, that normally involves negotiating, right? And is additional work. We don't want to do that either. Okay, now you might be asking yourself, what the heck? What the frick do we do then, right? We still want to do deals, we still want to make money, right? So, but we don't want to do it with these things. Okay, find the buyer. We don't want to do that either. We don't want to find a buyer because that takes time and energy, and we have to have a big old buyers list, right? But what if we don't have a huge buyers list, okay? So that doesn't work, we don't want to do that. And then contract with the buyer. That also involves negotiating, right? A lot of times there's negotiating in here as well, and we don't want to do that. So let's get rid of this sucker. In fact, really the only thing that we want to do, right, is this guy right here. We want to close. Okay, so how do we do that? What's the right way? How do we do that without all this bullshit, without it taking 2 weeks to 6 months to get the deal done? This is the right way to do the deal, right? One, I'll give you a snapshot of this. I created a case study that shows how we did it in our business, right? So in Keegley, like now it's a little over like 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. I was doing this model, right? Spending a boatload of money on marketing and struggling to get 1, 2, 3 deals a month, right? Working really freaking hard. And again, if you do 2 to 3 deals a month, you're still making pretty good money. But it was a grind, right? And I wasn't getting past that ceiling, like no way. Then about two and a half years ago, we switched, right, to this new model. We switched to this model, which is highly leveraged and allows us to do, now we're doing 75, 70, 80, 82 is our record for deals right now, right? And I think we're probably gonna blow past that this month, which will be good. So, but yeah, with our new method. So this is what we switched to, right? The case study, I dropped a link below because I can only cover so much here. But the case study actually walks you through really the concept of like the old way, which is wrong, right? And then the new way, which is how we set it up. So hopefully that's useful for you guys to check it out. And I go much more point by point in that case study. But give you a quick snapshot. To start, we want to start where money's on the table, right? We want to start where there's already a deal in play. We don't want to start by marketing. That's so far from when we actually get paid, right? We don't want that. So we start here. We start with equitable interest, right? Now, equitable interest, most people know what equitable interest is, right? We need to have that at some point when we're doing a regular wholesale. There's lots of different ways that you can get equitable interest, right? And it does not have to be a contract with the seller. There's lots of different options there. So we enter with equitable interest, right? That means we don't have to do the marketing, we don't have to do the negotiating or anything like that. We just enter, right, where it would be like right here in the deal, right? Now at the same time, we don't want to have to find a buyer or anything like that. So we want to assign our position, right? Or we want to exit our position, because there's way more ways to do it than just assigning. Exit our position for a fee. So I'll say that's like here. Exit for fee, right? And then we jump straight to close. This is our model, right? There's a million different ways to enter and exit, right? But we don't want to do any of this additional junk, right? So I'm time capped on this video, but that's why I created the case study, to help you guys kind of walk you through the wrong way and the right way, and really the old school way, right? How everybody used to do business, and then how, if you really want to do freaking phenomenally well and leverage your business, your real estate business, and do just astronomically better than what most people are able to do, this is the method. So that's what I go over in the case study, diving more into how we do this. Ultimately, the wrong way, this is slow and expensive, right? This requires lots of dollars, lots of money here in order to kickstart this marketing. And if you're not super skilled, right, this fails, right? Especially normally fails right at this point, where we have to we have 2 leads, 2 phone calls that we need to capitalize on in order to make our marketing dollars back, right? You can only do that so many times until like your family's like, yo, stop, like, don't do that. So this is slow and expensive, which sucks. And then over here, the right method is one, fast, right? Because we're literally entering and exiting. Like we enter here, we exit here. This is normally like 7 days, right? So time to the first paycheck is way freaking better. And then the pipeline is so much easier to manage, right? When you're only managing 7 days, it's way easier. When you're managing 6 months, you're thinking, okay, I got to put something in the pipeline now so that I can close it in 6 months. That's when you have to try and manage the old school way, right? Well, that's hard. You have months where you don't do any deals, and that sucks. Whereas this, you're literally only managing 7 days. So you're putting in the pipeline today what you want to close next week, right? And sometimes it's more than 7 days, sometimes it's like 14 days, right? But it's so much shorter that you can actually manage it, right? And it's way nicer when you like get paid for your efforts faster. So much faster, but this doesn't require marketing dollars. There's lots of freaking awesome tools. This is the 21st century, and even just from the past like 5 or so years, really. New tools that have come out that we can use to really leverage up our position, right? I like using the example of Instagram. They're like freaking 15 employees and sold for $1 billion. All right, well that couldn't have happened, right? That could happen in the 1980s, right? That wasn't a thing, but it is now. And so this is just one example of how we very particularly enter and exit the deal to make money. But I go over more in the case study of how, like, what the tools are, how we're leveraging those in other areas to really grow our business quickly and do that without any marketing dollars, right? So anyhow, hopefully it's useful. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Put it together just so you guys have something to look at. A lot of people are asking questions. So anyhow, hope it's useful. Love y'all. Take care.